Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Bloom, group publisher of Roofing Contractor, and welcome to our Best of Success podcast show. It's always an honor to have with me my good friend Amparo Sancen, who's very well known in the industry. Amparo, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me. I love to be with you.
We so enjoy spending time with you, Amparo. And I think one of the coolest thing a lot of people know who you are, Amparo, but I just want to make sure everyone knows a little bit about your background. You started Sanson Contracting back in 2007 as a roofing contractor and I think you did some other things within construction. But what is so amazing about how you've pivoted your business is I want to make sure everybody understands in 2022, Amparo founded Latinos in Roofing because she had such a passion to help the Latino community and bring knowledge and education to them to make it easier. Because I know, Amparo, when you started, you felt the same way. You just wanted it to be easier to get knowledge and information. So thank you so much for all you're doing with Latinos in Roofing. And so again, welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you for the big support you give us to the Latino community. I think so, and I feel so proud to call you my friend because when you bring the Techos y Más, that you open a lot of doors for our community.
Well, thank you. We couldn't do it without you, Amparo. It's been a fun partnership. So, but let's talk about taxes, Amparo. And this conversation is gonna be in English. It is available in Spanish as well. We'll have a link below. But Amparo, let's start with I want to ask you, so in your experience working with contractors, what are some of the most common mistakes that you see when it comes to business and taxes?
The biggest mistakes are we mix personal and business. We don't track receipts. We don't track our expenses. And that's so hard at the end of the year to make the taxes.
Got it. And so, I mean, when you say separate, should you separate even with your phone? I mean, I have two cell phones, one that's kind of personal, one that's business. But do you recommend that people also have two cell phones? Or is it okay to have one phone for
if you
personal
use for business, you can have two phones. It is for business.
Okay. Got it.
But if you have your personal, that's the biggest mistake that you don't know. And I'm thinking so because the Latino community, we don't talk too much about business. We just want to talking about work and how you can work and work and work. But we make a lot of biggest mistakes because we don't connect with the right people. Like that's a good question. If one is your personal phone, you can pay through your personal account. But if the other phone is under your business, it's easy. You can put it in your business account.
Got it. Good advice. And so what consequences can a contractor face if they don't keep proper control of their finances and their reporting?
That question is so important. We can pay penalties. We can either get legal sides if we don't make a lot of mistakes. Sometimes we don't want to face the taxes. And sometimes we don't pay this year, we don't pay the next year. We don't like that season because that's so stress. That causes you fear. And your emotions say, oh, let me do next year. And that make you legal stuff. We can go to the court sometimes, or you can lose a lot of business just because the lack of knowledge, because we don't have that information on our community.
Yeah, got it. And so why do you think so many contractors avoid or postpone dealing with their taxes? Like, I'll do it later.
That's the mistakes. Most of the roofers or the contractors or Latinos, we don't do it because on our community, on our culture, we don't have the tax every year. And here, the lack of information, we don't have so many boot camps. We don't have a lot of advisors. They can give you good advice. That way you can have a control, pay your taxes, do your QuickBooks, get everything ready just in case if you want to buy a house or you need to get a loan for your business. That's the lack of information, and that causes you fear.
Got it. And so then how do you how does a business properly structure their tax payments?
That question, I take a couple trainings now for my business and myself, And we see a lot of these business, we don't take advices, good advisors, and we just do a business like a business. We don't register our business, and we lose a lot of opportunity to grow our business just because we pay more money. If I do on my own, we pay more money. If we have our LLC, we can have a lot of deductions, and we can have a more strategies to grow their business.
Got it. Yeah, it's important, as you said, to have a proper business structure. So, what role does financial education play in a contractor's success?
Education is a key. If we don't know how to use QuickBooks, we should have hiring someone can help us with the QuickBooks. We should hiring a good accounting or good advisor. That way they can help us with the strategies. That way we can just have better picture of our business. If we don't have it, it's because we don't know. That's what I love to be here and show my community. This is the right time to start getting someone who can help you. That way you can meet every month by Zoom or personal. That way they can help you and give you better advice how you can start planning your taxes right now, not at the end of the month of the year.
Yeah. So, can you share a case where a contractor lost money because they didn't understand their tax obligations?
That's a good one. We working so hard. We working so hard, but because we don't track any receipts, we don't track how much money get in, how much money get out. At the end of the year, we lose almost everything. You make money, but at the end, you don't have any profit because you have to pay too much money on the taxes just because you don't know how to do the good strategies to keep the money or invest the money on your business.
Got it. And so, what's the difference between operating as an independent contractor or having an LLC or a corporation?
That's a huge difference. When you have your personal, when you do on your personal on SO, when you do your personal business, you lose so much money. And we see a lot of, we just have a training a week ago on the taxes, and you can see how much people do business as a business. They don't have the right instruction like LLC, C Corp or S Corp, and that make a big difference when you have the right people behind you and teach you how you can start your business. The business start with the right structural, how you want to run your business, how you want to show your business, how you're going to tax your business. And that's a big difference. And we don't have the information. Now I'm thinking so this year we have more advisors we can see on social media, or you can find a right tax advisor. That way they can help you and see what type of business do you want, what is your vision. That way they can help you to have better instruction and tell you what is the best way to do taxes.
Got it. And so, tell me again though, why is it really important to separate personal and business accounts?
When you do business, and that happened to me and that happened to a lot of my friends that I know, we have a business and we use our car and we pay our bills, we pay the business bills, and we don't separate. When you try to make your own life and you try to buy your own house, you don't have a record because you don't pay yourself. And if you want to have us at the end of the year, at the end to pay the taxes, if you don't have the separation about this is the business and you don't pay yourself, you lose money. And you don't have the right invoices, like you lose a lot of money just because the business can pay your taxes. That's a big mix. Like what I'm doing right now is a big mess. It's
Yeah.
exactly at the end when you bring all the invoices and all the receipts to your tax strategy or the people who do your taxes, and it's no clue how they're gonna do your good taxes for you because it's a lot of mistakes. You don't
Yeah.
separate, and legally they should be separate. But
Got
we
it.
don't know. We think when you have a one banking account and you can use the banking account everywhere, and that's wrong. Just because nobody teach you, and at the end you do the taxes, you bring the big box to your tax people.
Yeah.
They
Right.
figure out at the end they don't show you, they don't teach you all the mistakes.
Got it. And so, what's the benefit that a contractor can gain from hiring a good accountant and an organized system?
First, we need to have a QuickBooks. If we don't have a QuickBooks, we're gonna lose everything. If you have a good strategy people, they gonna help you and they will teach you. And it's not in one time. They take a time that way we can understand how we're gonna separate our personal business to our business, or personal to the business. That way we're gonna start learning. They take a time until you understand why it's so important and you don't lose money. Because at the end, we have to have our business deductions, but our personal can be on that deductions. That's how we lose that money if we don't separate.
Got it. And so what basic steps do you recommend for a contractor to start organizing their taxes and their bookkeeping?
They have to have a QuickBooks. QuickBooks,
Okay.
that's the easy way, and it's simple. If they don't know, it's simple. Hiring someone who can help you to start scan your receipt. That way they can have a control. If you don't have control over your money, you can invest on something else.
Got it. And so, as you know, I know a lot of the contractors you work with are smaller, but what happens when somebody outgrows QuickBooks?
I take a class for QuickBooks, but here in my office, we help the QuickBooks guy, but we have strategy people on our business. We meet every month. That way they can handle all the QuickBooks. Because if we think, oh, let me go YouTube and have a little understand how work QuickBooks. That's so hard because the good people who do strategies, they separate the money so fast. And when you scan your receipt, go to the different departments. And if you have you have to have, chill, we're talking about money.
Yeah.
That's the biggest mistake. We know how to make money, but we don't know how management the money. You have to have an advisor behind you. That way they can control where the money came from, where the money is going. And that way you can really grow your business. Because sometimes we don't grow the business because we lose so much money because we don't know where is the money. You have to have my biggest advice, hiring someone behind you to take your money, because we're good working. We are roofers and we know how to handle these door knocking, the inspections, but we don't know about the money. That's why most of these business fail, just because we don't have somebody behind us to help us with the money. Money is going to help us to grow. Money is going to help us to have better life for our kids. Money going to help us to have better retire plan for us. And on this case, if we asking to the Latino community, do you have a retirement plan? We don't have a retirement plan, just because we don't know where is the money, and we confused with the money. We need to learn more about these strategies, but have someone with a good reputation and they know what you need to know, and they teach you, and they can do the whole things for you.
Got it. Such great advice, Amparo. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. But if anybody has any questions about Latinos and roofing, what's your website? Where do they go?
They can come to Latinos and Roofing and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are on all the platforms.
Fabulous. And yes, and I know that you have all your events listed there on your website as well, so people can see when you're going to be hosting your next event, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Amparo. And if anybody has any questions for us, it's roofingcontractor.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free e-newsletters, especially our Techo Si Mas, if you have anybody that needs to have this content in Spanish. But most importantly, stay safe and healthy, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, Amparo.
Thank you. Bye-bye.